Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Tom Nelson, and this is a continuation of the Diabetes Control video course. This is step number 5 of the 6 steps in gaining complete control over diabetes. This is lesson number 11, part 6. We're going to talk about adipose fat. The subcutaneous fat, remember the adipose fat, is not as dangerous to your health as visceral fat. You'll remember that the subcutaneous fat is beneath the skin, between your skin and the muscles of your abdominal cavity. Its main role is to store energy in the form of lipids, of fats. And that's not just true of the adipose, but also of the visceral fats. It also cushions and insulates your body to retain your body heat. It's far from being hormonally inert. It is classified as a major endocrine organ, one that produces and releases hormones into your bloodstream. So it produces the hormones leptin, estrogen, resistin, and the cytokine TNF-A. Leptin is produced by all of your fat cells, and the more fat you have, the more leptin that is produced and released into the bloodstream. It acts as a message carrier to your hypothalamus, your control room, and it tells them how much fat you have in storage. But it also works to suppress appetite and to burn stored fat if the fat cells are full, if your fat accumulation is elevated. But as you lose weight, leptin is going to be produced at a lower level, and it's going to cause an increase in your food cravings and your appetite. Adiponectin, which is produced from 65 different amino acids, is another hormone that's produced mainly in that subcutaneous fat. It helps protect against the manifestation of diabetes by regulating the processing of fats and sugars. It regulates glucose levels and fatty acid breakdown. It is very abundant in the bloodstream unless you are obese or diabetic. Circulating adiponectin concentrations will increase during caloric restriction. That means if you cut back on the number of carbs that you eat every day and the amount of food that you eat every day, you're going to increase the circulation of adiponectin concentrations. It also produces an anti-inflammatory effect on the linings of your blood vessels, which is very important. Resistin causes a significant increase in your LDL cholesterol, partly by blocking your liver's efforts to discharge the excess LDL into your intestines to get rid of them. It also accelerates the accumulation of LDL cholesterol in your arteries, which is going to mean a buildup of plaque. It also significantly increases insulin resistance. You're probably getting a very clear picture that resistin is not a hormone that you want very much of. The amount of resistin increases in the number of fat cells if you fill the original fat cells to their full state. So resistin is highly pro-inflammatory. It causes inflammation. So there are two types of adipose tissue, remember, the white adipose fat tissue, WAT, which stores energy, and the brown adipose tissue fat, BAT. Now the brown is usually only found in very young children, infants. And the formation of adipose tissue is controlled in part by the adipose gene in your gene structure. So adipose fat is generally found just under the skin, all over the body, but mostly around the belly because of those vessels that come straight from your liver. Adipose tissue is connective tissue. It's consisting mainly of these adipose fat cells. You remember in the video lesson on cellular basics how their cells are tied together with a extracellular matrix, a fibrous substance. That is what forms these adipose tissues out of these adipose individual fat cells. So they're specialized to synthesize and to contain large globules of fat within a structural network of fibers. So the fat stored in your adipose tissue comes from two sources: dietary fats, which is from the meats that you eat, or it's produced in your body from excess glucose, excess sugar, from eating too many carbs or too much food or too much fruit. So when muscles and other tissues need energy, certain hormones are going to bind to adipose cells, and that's going to result in the release of those fatty acids. These enzymes inside are going to disassemble those fatty acids, the triglycerides, and then release those individual strands of fat into the bloodstream. And those are energy-rich fatty acids. They're disassembled again from triglycerides and glycerol, which is a process known as lipolysis. So the enzyme responsible for hydrolysis is lipase. Lipase is found in numerous different sources. Lipase is found in your bloodstream, in certain gastrointestinal juices, and in your adipose tissue. It is activated by hormones, especially epinephrine, norepinephrine, glucagon, and others, which bind to those adipocytes. So white adipose tissue is a source of several different hormones that play very important roles in the metabolism and endocrine function. Those adipose-produced hormones, adiponectin, leptin, and resistin, are involved in energy metabolism, the production of energy. Plasminogen activator inhibitor 1 prevents the dissolution of blood clots. Again, the brown fat that's found in newborns is usually only used to produce heat. They don't produce any energy whatsoever. So instead of producing energy, they actually consume energy. So in humans, the brown adipose decreases as you age. It's usually gone by the time you're out of your infant stage. In animals, though, particularly those that hibernate, like grizzly bears or black bears, it plays a very important role in their survival. It's the brown adipose tissue that is tan to red in color, but it's what keeps those animals warm during their hibernated state. So now go to video lesson number 11, step 5, part 7. More about adipose fat. Thank you for watching, and please pay it forward. Thank you.